Hey there and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into Roth accounts, what they are, why they matter, and how to decide between Roth and traditional tax-deferred retirement contributions. If you've ever wondered whether to go pre-tax or post-tax or if a backdoor Roth makes sense for you, this is your guide. Let's get into it. First up, Roth versus traditional. What's the difference? Let's start with the basics. The difference between a Roth and a traditional IRA or 401k comes down to when you pay the taxes. With traditional contributions, you contribute pre-tax, which gives you a tax deduction now. But later, when you withdraw the money in retirement, you'll potentially owe income tax. With Roth contributions, you pay taxes on the money today, but once it's in the account, it has the potential to grow completely tax-free. And when you take it out in retirement, there's no tax bill waiting for you. So here's the real trade-off. Do you want the tax break now or the tax freedom later? Next up, why you shouldn't overlook a Roth. I get it. Paying taxes now isn't fun. Your CPA may even tell you that you shouldn't contribute to a Roth and pay taxes now. But here's the deal. If you're in a relatively low tax bracket today, that Roth contribution can be a smart move. You're locking in taxes at a known rate instead of gambling on what your tax bracket or tax law might be 20 or 30 years from now. If you're young or in your peak earning years and building wealth for decades to come, having a growing pot of tax-free money can be powerful. You can look at that Roth IRA or Roth 401k and know that it's all yours. No splitting it with Uncle Sam later. If you're expecting to have multiple sources of income in retirement beyond just your 401k or IRA withdrawals, it might make sense to start thinking about Roth contributions now, even if they feel like a stretch. For many professionals, Social Security will eventually make up a significant part of retirement income. And while not all of it's taxable, most higher income retirees will see up to 85% of their Social Security benefits included in their taxable income. But Social Security typically doesn't kick in right away. Many people delay benefits until age 70 to maximize the monthly amount, so those earlier retirement years might be an opportunity to get ahead of future taxes. Keep in mind though, Social Security isn't the only factor. You might also have a spouse who's still working, income from rental properties, a taxable brokerage account, or a pension. The more of these income sources you have, the more likely it is that your traditional retirement account withdrawals will be taxed at a higher rate. That's why contributing to a Roth now or converting some of your pre-tax savings is a way of prepaying taxes while you're in a potentially lower bracket. It's a long-term play that can give you more flexibility later. Next up, traditional accounts have Uncle Sam lurking in the corner. Here's how I explain traditional accounts to clients. You think that $1 million traditional IRA is all yours? Think again. Uncle Sam will come knocking on your door for his money. When you retire and start pulling money out, that's when the IRS steps in and takes their share at whatever tax rate exists at the time, which is something we can't predict. RMDs, the hidden tax headache. Required minimum distributions or RMDs kick in at age 73 or 75 for traditional accounts, depending on when you were born. Even if you don't need the money, you're forced to take it and pay taxes on it. Here's where Roth IRAs shine. They never have RMDs during your lifetime. You can let the money grow untouched for decades and even pass it on to your heirs with 10 more years of tax-free growth. The backdoor Roth, a legal loophole. Now let's talk strategy. What if your income is too high to contribute to a Roth IRA directly? That's where the backdoor Roth IRA comes in. Here's how it works. You make a non-deductible contribution to a traditional IRA, then you convert that amount to a Roth IRA. But heads up, this works best if you don't already have a traditional IRA balance because of something called the pro rata rule, which can make part of the conversion taxable. So it's important to talk with a tax professional or financial planner before going this route. When are Roth conversions appropriate? Another strategy to think about is a Roth conversion. That's when you move money from a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA and pay the taxes now to enjoy tax-free growth later. This can be especially smart if you plan to retire or shift to part-time work in your 50s or early 60s. Why? Because your income may drop before things like Social Security or a pension kick in, which could put you in a lower tax bracket for a few years if you can pay the tax bill using money from a regular taxable account, not the IRA itself. You might be able to convert just enough each year to fill up those lower tax brackets without jumping into a higher one. It's a way to gradually shift money into a Roth while your tax rate is still friendly and potentially reduce future RMDs at the same time. Next up, when traditional may still make sense. Now, I'm not saying traditional IRAs and 401ks are bad. There are scenarios where they make sense. If you're close to retirement and expect to be in a much lower tax bracket later, a tax deduction today might be the smarter option. If you're planning to give to charity through qualified charitable distributions after age 70 and a half, traditional IRAs are great dollars to use. Or if you expect to have significant medical expenses that will allow you to deduct large amounts in retirement. If you live in or plan to move to a state that doesn't have income tax, then tax-deferred contributions make sense. If you are pursuing student loan forgiveness through PSLF, you should ideally keep your payment as low as possible on your IDR plan, and utilizing tax-deferred contributions can be in your favor. So in those cases, keeping some traditional pre-tax money on hand might be a good idea. Roth 401ks versus traditional 401ks, what to choose? If your employer offers a Roth 401k, that's a game changer. There are no income limits and you can contribute way more than the Roth IRA limit. For 2025, that's up to $23,500 if you're under 50 and $31,000 if you're over 50. If you're 60, 61, 62, or 63, you can contribute $34,750 under Secure Act 2.0. A blended approach works too. You don't have to go all in on Roth or traditional. You can split your contributions and give yourself tax diversification in retirement, which is what we typically recommend for many of our clients. Will Roths be around in the future? Roths give Congress an opportunity to generate money up front, and their constituents actually like Roths. That's why we've seen Roth options expanded across the board. Roth 401ks, Roth SEP IRAs, Roth Simples, even rollovers from 529 plans to Roths. Roths aren't perfect and they're not for everyone. But for most people, especially if you're in a lower stable tax bracket and have time to let the money grow, they offer one of the best deals in the tax code. One final but major point. It's important to go beyond just tax rates and get into what the money is actually for in retirement. We don't always know what your tax rates might be in the future, but we do know how retirees tend to spend money. We know you will have regular monthly expenses where having a pre-tax source of funds can look and feel much like a paycheck. A regular systematic withdrawal from a pre-tax IRA has taxes withheld like a paycheck, and then you can spend it on those normal monthly expenses. However, retirees also have periodic lump sum type expenses. You might want to buy a car, take a big trip, do some home remodeling projects where you need a one-time chunk of money. This is where a Roth IRA can be a great tool. You can take that money out of the Roth and not worry about taxes. If you had to take a large lump sum from a regular IRA, you might get bumped into a higher tax bracket, get hit with IRMA premium increases on Medicare, or have more of your Social Security taxed. The point is, having both pre-tax and Roth money available gives you important tax diversification and allows you to pick and choose how you want to get taxed on your withdrawals in retirement. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more no fluff real world financial education. And drop a comment below. Do you use a Roth or are you sticking with traditional? I want to hear from you. Until next time.